We'll start in a standing position tonight, um, just to do a little work to kind of shake the day off, and then we'll come down to the ground. So step yourself to a nice wide position with your feet, maybe about shoulder width distance, just so you feel really good and solid on the ground. And let your knees be soft, let your butt be a little soft, and let your arms be kind of soft at your sides. And then eyes opened or closed, that's just going to be totally up to you throughout your entire practice. But just to start, as you inhale, lift your toes away from the floor and spread your toes as wide as you can. And then as you exhale, just let your toes soften down. And we'll do that again. Inhale and lift your toes and spread your toes as wide as you can. Exhale and let your toes soften down. Awesome. Do that one more time. Inhale, lift your toes, spread your toes. Exhale, soften your toes down, and now start to shift your weight gently side to side. So think about bringing your weight to the blade edge of your foot and then over to the other edge of your foot, and then be soft in your knees, be soft in your hips, and just kind of get a sense of how are your legs feeling? How are your feet and your ankles feeling? How is your energy level right now? And then getting that sense of side to side sway, bring it into a little tighter side to side sway. And then we're going to start to take it right into a front to back sway. So you're going to lean in a little bit to your heels and a little bit into the balls of your feet. And you might move your toes a little bit as you do this. And you might feel the muscles in your legs fire on to kind of hold that position as you bring it forward a little bit. And then notice what muscles fire up as you lean back just a little bit. Nice. And then just take one more front to back and then come to that center. So not too much to the left or to the right, not too much forward or back. And then if it feels okay to be here for a moment with your eyes closed down, close your eyes down. Just take a nice generous inhale. Nice slow exhale. Bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Take another nice full inhale. Nice slow exhale. The hand that's on the belly, bring it up to the hand that's on top of the heart. Take one more breath. Awesome. And then before we move away from this place and get into some big movements with the body, just take a moment to set an intention here to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. Cool. And then with that intention set, let your hands come down at your sides. And we're going to just start by drawing some circles with the wrist. Draw your circles in one direction, and then draw your circles the other way. And then we're going to take it into just a little bit of shoulder rotation. So we're going to flip the palms. Palms are going to rotate up a little bit. You're going to feel a little lift in the chest, and then flip your palms down and let your shoulders round forward just a little bit. Flip the palms, let your chest lift. Flip the palms and let your shoulders round forward. Flip your palms, let your chest lift, let your chin lift. Flip the palms, tuck your chin down to your chest. Flip your palms, lift your chin just a little higher. Flip the palms and tuck your chin down to your chest. One more just like that. Flip the palms, lift your chin. Flip the palms, tuck your chin down to your chest. And now we're going to keep our head in a neutral position. And as you flip your palms, now you're going to start to raise your arms up and overhead. So flip them one way and then the other. Take your time as you come here. And then just go up to a height that feels nice, that you feel maybe a little sensation in the shoulder girdle, and then start to bring your weight right back down. Flipping the palms one way and the other as you come down, nice and slow. And then we'll do that again. Flip the palms, come up just to a height that feels nice. And then flip those palms, come right back down. Beautiful. We're going to do that one more time. Flip your palms, lifting up. Flip your palms as you float your arms down. And then step your feet just a little bit wider so you have a really good wide foundation. And we're going to start to take it into some light shirt sleeves twists. Be mindful here because there is movement in the hips, there is movement in the knees. So let your heels and your feet pivot with you so that your knees move in a nice friendly way. And then once you've got that motion going on just a little bit, let your hands tap your hips. So you're going to either make open palms or make light little fists, but you're going to allow just a little thump of your palms or your hands against your hips. Beautiful. Take one more time each side, or kind of even yourself out. And then we're going to step the feet even wider. So find a nice wide position with the feet, maybe about 3 feet apart. So now if you're standing on the sideways edge of your mat, your feet might be coming off the edges of your mat. Take your right toes, turn them inward. Take your left toes and turn them out. And then we're just going to come right to a light warrior two. So you're going to bend your knee, extend your arms straight out from the shoulders, keep it light and loose, and then right away lift it back up, rotate your toes forward, pause for a second, reassess, and then we're going to take it to the other side. So turn your left toes in, turn your right toes out, bend your knee, reach your arms out to about shoulder height, nice and loose here, and then right away bring it back in, rotate both feet back in, and then with that wide position with the toes pointing forward, take a nice big breath, reach your arms up, look up. As you exhale, bend your knees a lot, hinge from your waist, let your hands come down towards the ground, but keep a super generous bend in the knees and find a light sway side to side. So more about the looseness in the spine than the movement in the knees. Let your head hang nice and heavy. Take one more little sway side to side, and then come to center, or find that centered position with your hands still on the ground. Reach through your fingertips. Think about like kind of a halfway lift. So we want to now create a little bit of length and energy through the spine. So we get a little bit of a flat back situation, not perfectly flat, but just energy reaching through the back body. Take one more moment here just to see if you can find that nice muscular action, and then bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll your way up to standing. And now we're going to step the feet in so that they're about hip width distance apart, toes and knees pointing fairly forward. Inhale, reach your arms up just to a height that feels nice. And then exhale, bend your knees, bring your butt back just a little bit. And then here's where you can bring your block into play. If you like that mindfulness, you'll take your block at your medium setting. You'll just place it right between the inner thighs just to kind of keep that connection point there. Inhale your arms up. And as you exhale, you're just going to sink into a light little seat. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up, straighten your legs. Exhale to sink back down. Keep it light and loose, so not too strong. You don't have to sit and hang into it. Inhale, lift up. Exhale and sink down. Beautiful. One more just like that. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to sink down. And then if you've got that block between your legs, go ahead and release it. Rise on up. Set your block down to the side. And now we're going to come down into a seated position. So we're just going to sit right onto our butt. So you come down onto the ground in any way that works good for your body. But as you come down, step your feet so that they're out in front of you with a nice generous bend in your knees. Catch hold of your kneecaps. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. Exhale, round your back, tuck your chin into your chest. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. One more cycle of breath here. Inhale, lift. Exhale to round, and then step your feet in so that your feet are flat on the ground and hands behind you, fingertips pointing toward your butt. And we're just going to take a little chest stretch here. So press into your palms, lift your chest, lift your chin, get a little opening through the front, through the collarbones, and you might feel that nice squeeze in the shoulder blades. Take one good breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release, and we're going to fold right into a little ragdoll. So step your feet to a distance in front of you that feels nice, but so much that you're not pulling against the backs of the legs. And then just fold yourself over. Maybe you catch hold of your toes or your shins, or just let your hands fall wherever feels the nicest. And then make a little space for yourself. Wiggle into this position. Make sure there's plenty of space for your belly, plenty of space for your chest, and your arms have a nice, happy place to land. And then once you're here, just see if you can come back to your breath. Take a nice full inhale. Nice slow exhale. Take one more breath. And then slowly walk yourself up and in. You're going to let your left leg go nice and long. Grab hold of the back of the right leg, and we're just going to take 3 little kicks to that foot. So we're just going to bring a little bit extra length into the back of that leg, just to a point that feels comfortable. Nice. And then set that leg down, switch to the other side. Grab the back of the thigh, lift that leg up. Take a couple of good kicks to that leg just to bring a little length into the back of the leg. Beautiful. And then set that foot down. And now we're going to bring it into Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet together, knees out to the left and the right, but keep it a really loose diamond shape. So heels a little bit further away from your inner thighs or further away from the groin. And then give a couple of good gentle flaps of the knees just to make sure that there's plenty of space in your hips and they're externally rotating and there's not anything pinching or sending any little not feeling good up in that hip crease. So make sure everything feels like it's nice. Let your knees flap. Take 1 or 2 more gentle flaps. And then we're going to fold forward just a little bit. So lean your heart forward just to a point where you feel maybe a light bit of sensation in the outer edge of your hip. And then pause there and soften. Soften your shoulders down. Soften through the back of your body. Take 1 more breath. And then come back up nice and slow. Grab the outsides of your knees. Help your knees come together. We're going to spin it around and take it into a tabletop position to take a little puppy pose. As you come into your tabletop position, check in right away. So if your knees need a little extra cushioning, you can take your blanket, tuck it under your knees, or double stack your mat if that feels like a nice way to go. But then once you've got your tabletop, pause just for a moment to find a little bit of strength. So pull your abdominal muscles up towards the spine. Broaden your shoulders, gaze down between your thumbs. Take a big conscious breath. Cool. And then from here, take it into your puppy pose. Walk your hands towards the top edge of your mat. Let your arms be as wide as feels great so that your chest and your forehead can sink nice and low. And then once you've got your way here, just take a few nice deep breaths. Take 1 more breath here. And then when you're ready, slowly bring it back up into your tabletop position. And then we're just going to add a little element of strength tonight. So finding a spinal balance. So we're going to start by sliding the left hand and the right leg out. You're going to keep the toe and the finger on the ground to start. And then firm up your abdomen just a little bit. Think about pulling your belly up towards your spine. Reach out through your fingers, reach out through your toes, gaze down at the floor. Take 1 good breath with the toes and the foot on the ground, and then slide it back in, but try to keep everything else nice and stable. And then switch to the other side. Right hand to left leg, you're going to reach out, pull the abdomen up, reach through the finger, reach through the toes, and then try to keep everything else stable. Slide it all back up and in. Beautiful. Now we're going to take it a little bit further. So left hand, right leg, you're going to reach out, pull the abdominal muscles up, lift the leg and the hand up away from the floor. Try to keep everything else nice and stable. Release that back down with control. And then as you slide it in, everything else is going to be as stable as it can. Beautiful. Switch to the other side. Right hand, left leg, you're going to reach out, firm up your belly, lift up, keep everything else nice and stable, release back down, keep it all stable as you bring it back in. And now we're going to take it to that last point. So we're just going to reach out and lift right away, keep everything nice and stable, release it all the way back in, keeping everything else nice and stable. Switch right to the other side. Right hand, left leg, reach out. Keep everything else nice and stable, bring it back in, and then pause in your tabletop, firm up your belly, broaden your shoulders, look down between your thumbs, take a nice big conscious breath. Awesome. From here, we're going to come down onto our belly. So you come down in any way that works good for you. You might choose to just bring your elbows and forearms down, slide your feet to the back end of your mat, and then gently bring your hips down. Once you're down, we're going to take it through a Sphinx position, and then we'll move into 3 low cobras and then come right back out. So elbows in line with the shoulders, hands in a parallel position, spread your fingers nice and wide. Pull your elbows back towards your ribs just a little bit so you feel a little squeeze in the shoulder blades, a light lift in the chest. Reach up through the crown of your head. Take 1 nice full breath here. Slow breath out. Beautiful. And then soften. Walk your elbows nice and wide. We're going to slide those hands in so that they're in line with the shoulders. Elbows are going to kind of hug in at the ribs just a little bit, but let it be a loose position. You want to be able to move your back pretty freely. Inhale and just lift your heart up just a little bit so you're looking forward. And then exhale, soften back down. Inhale, lift up, look forward. Exhale and soften down. Beautiful. One more just like that. Inhale, lift up, look forward. Exhale to soften down. Push your way up to a tabletop and then all the way back to your favorite version of child's pose. So you might choose big toes together, knees together. You might choose big toes together, knees super wide, or somewhere in between. Then once you've got your knees in a happy position, bring your butt back towards your heels. Give a second to create a little space for your belly, create a little space for your chest, and then let everything be soft here. Soften your arms. Soften the back of your body. Take one more breath. And then slowly start to bring yourself back up to a tabletop position. Walk those knees in, pause in your tabletop, gaze down between your thumbs, pull the abdomen up, broaden your shoulders, take a nice full breath. And then before we come down to the ground, if your day requires just a little bit more of an energetic practice, it might be a nice place to take a downward facing dog if it's in your mood. If not, find your way back onto your back, coming down any way that feels right. But if you want that downward facing dog, you might choose to curl your toes under, lift your hips up just as high as you like, pause there for a breath, and then come down in any way you like. With or without that down dog, start to find your way down onto your back. Take your time as you come down. And then as you come down, you're just going to slide the feet in. So knees are in a bent position, heels a little bit close to the butt, feet about hip width distance apart. Bring your hands right down alongside your hips with the palms pressing down. Press the backs of your arms into the ground and press your shoulders into the ground. And then once you feel like you've found that pressing in the arms and the hands and the shoulders, notice your solar plexus in your ribs. And if your ribs kind of puffed up as you pressed your arms into the ground, now can you pull the backs of your ribs down to the ground? Keep pressing your arms down, keep pressing your ribs down. Keep that pressing sensation and then take your awareness down to your toes. As you inhale, just your toes, lift your toes and spread your toes nice and wide. Exhale, soften your toes back down. Inhale, lift your toes, spread your toes as wide as you can. Exhale to soften down. Arms and shoulders and ribs are still pressing into the ground. One more time. Inhale, lift your toes, spread your toes. Exhale to soften your toes and now relax. Relax your shoulders, relax your arms, relax your hands, relax your ribs. And then once you've found that softer position with the upper body, but keeping your hands down alongside your hips, we're going to move right to the right leg. So you're going to pull your right knee up towards your chest. Kick your foot up towards the ceiling, keep a nice bend in the knee, lower your heel down towards the ground, let it touch the ground and then slide that heel all the way back up and in. Pull your knee into your chest, extend the heel up, keep your knee gently bent, lower your heel down to the ground, and then slide that heel back in. One more just like that. Lift your leg up, heel up to the sky, keep a gentle bend in the leg, lower it with control. Once the heel touches down, slide it in. And now we're going to move right over to the left leg. Bring the knee up towards the chest. Extend the heel up. With control, lower your heel down towards the ground. Once it touches down, slide that heel in. Bring the knee to the chest. Lift the heel up. Lower the leg with control. When the heel touches down, slide it in. Beautiful. One more just like that. Lift the knee to the chest. Extend the heel up. Lower your leg with control. Once the heel touches down, bring it back in and now come back to the right leg. And we're just going to let the right knee drop out to the side, keeping everything else pretty stable, and then bring the right knee back in. Right knee drops out to the side and bring it back in. One more just like that. Right knee drops out to the side and bring it back in. Nice. And then take it over to the left. Left knee drops out to the side and bring it back in. Out to the side and bring it back in. One more time, just like that. Bring the knee out to the side, Bring it back in, come back to your right leg, pull the right knee up towards your chest, take that knee, draw it in some gentle circles, go in one direction. And then draw it in gentle circles, go the other way. Beautiful. And then we're going to get a firm handhold. So make a little basket weave, hold onto your knee, and then push your knee into your hand and let your hands create a little resistance. Feel your quadricep muscles, your back muscles fire up just a little bit as you actively push your knee into your hands and your hands resist. Take a nice full breath. And then as you exhale, soften, set that foot down, and we're going to switch right to the other side. Bring the left knee into the chest. Take that left knee, draw it in some gentle circles, go in one direction. And then draw that knee in circles, go the other way. Nice. And then make your little basket weave, hold on to that knee, push your knee into your hand. Hands are going to resist. Feel your legs fire up. Feel the muscles in your back. Take a nice full breath. And then as you exhale, release and soften now. And now we're going to pull both knees up into the chest. So just a light, gentle squeeze, and then take it into a nice little rock side to side. Beautiful. One more little rock side to side, and then release your legs into a reverse tabletop position. Let your arms come out at your sides, and we're going to take it into a little twist here. So drop your knees over to the right. Take your time as you let them come down to the ground. And then left arm is just going to extend out nice and wide, trying to keep that left shoulder heavy towards the earth. Bring your right hand to the outsides of the thighs. Press your thighs down if it feels good to leverage into it. If it feels good to keep a looser position, leave your hands off. But if it feels all right to push the thighs down, anchor the legs down, and then let your left shoulder just get a little heavier. Take a nice full breath in. Slow breath out. Two more cycles of breath. Beautiful. If your hand is on the thigh, go ahead and release it. Gently bring your legs back into center, hug them into your chest, a light little squeeze, a gentle rock side to side. Awesome. And then when you're ready, release your legs back into that reverse table. Let your arms come out at your sides. Drop your knees over to the left. Take your time as you let them come down to the ground. Find a comfortable position for those knees to drop down. Try to keep your right shoulder anchoring towards the ground. And then once you've found that twist that works good for your body, if it feels good to leverage into it, left hand to the thighs, push the thighs down, and think about getting your right shoulder even heavier to the earth. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, bring it all back to center. Pull those knees back into your chest. One last light little squeeze and maybe a gentle rock of the knees side to side. And then we're going to set the feet down onto the ground. Toe heel your feet to a nice comfortable distance towards the outer edges of your mat. And then take some light windshield wipers. So as you lightly windshield wiper, so maybe like you're moving 2 to 3 inches, something really small and subtle. Tune in and notice your knees and notice your hips. And you might even notice your back trying to start to find its movement with you. And then only if it feels good to your knees and to your hips, then you'll take it a little bit further, dropping the knees side to side at a depth and a pace that feels good. Nice. Take one more drop of the knees side to side, and then we're going to move right into Banananasana. So we're going to push into our feet, shift your hips over to the right side of your mat, and then walk your feet down to the left side of your mat. So left corner of the mat for the feet, right side of the mat for the hips. And then we're going to take our arms and reach them up to the top left corner. So we're making a nice little crescent shape or a banana shape with the body. So the hips are to the right, feet are to the left, arms are to the left. Reach your arms up alongside your ears if that feels like a nice way to go. Take a nice full breath in. Notice the right side of your body. Take one more breath. And then soften up that side stretch just a little bit so you can bend your knees, walk your feet back in, shift your hips back to center, pause in the center, readjust anything that you need to. And then we're going to take all of that to the other side. So you're going to shift your hips over to the left side of your mat, walk your feet down to the right corner of your mat, and then reach your arms up to the top right corner of your mat. So feet are over to the right, hands are over to the right, and the hips are now over to the left. And then hopefully you're feeling a stretch through the left side body. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, soften that side bend a little bit, slide your legs back in, push into your feet so you can shift your hips back to center. Pause in the center just to take a moment to notice, and then ask your body what would be your best Shavasana. So I did suggest a little rolled up blanket. So if you could use a little bit of a chest opener, especially if you were sitting at a desk or tablet or a phone and you have that sort of you closed in chest position this evening, take your rolled up blanket. You're going to go length of the spine. You're going to keep your tailbone off of the blanket. So you're going to let it be a soft roll. You're going to get it nice and hug and tight up to the tailbone, and then just lower your spine onto your blanket. Hopefully it supports your head and your spine, and then just work out all those little wrinkles. So just, you want to make sure it feels like it's kind of centered on your spine. You're nice and balanced. And then maybe you walk your feet nice and long, or keep your feet in constructive rest. If this is not an option for you tonight, or you're just not feeling this, or you just don't need it, you can take your blanket, use it as a blanket, tuck it around just your belly if it's in a warm space, but you still want that tucked in feeling, or use it in any other way that feels nice. Sometimes, especially if you've got low back stuff, it can feel good to bring it under your knees to keep a bent knee position. So any variation that feels really comfortable, give your body a moment to find your way there. Once you have your physical body in a relatively comfortable position, take a moment to just tune into the sounds around you, the sounds of your room that you're working in, or the sounds outside of the room that you're in. Allow your awareness to come back to your physical body and just let your feet be soft and heavy. Notice if you're holding any tension in your toes, and see if you can let your toes soften. Soften your calves and your shins. Soften your knees, the muscles around the knees, the backs of your knees. Allow your thighs to be soft and heavy. See if you can release any tension that you're holding in your hips or your butt. Soften your belly. Soften your ribs. Let your chest be heavy. Let your arms be heavy and your hands be soft. Start to bring your awareness back into your body. Gently wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Invite a little bit of gentle movement into your head and your neck. And then if you did opt to have that rolled up blanket underneath your back, under your spine, take a second to just gently roll off to one side, remove that blanket out from underneath you. And then any other way that you were using your prop, if you were using it as a blanket or tucked up under your knees, take a second to kind of just scooch it out of the way. And then we're going to take it into our good morning stretch. So stretch your feet nice and long. Reach your arms up and overhead. Take a second to find that length and then bring a little energetic reach. Reach through your fingers, reach through your toes. Take a nice big breath back into your body. Awesome. And then when you feel ready, slowly start to find your way up to a comfortable seated position. You might choose to roll to one side or rock and roll up, whatever gets you there but feels nice. And then as you come to a comfortable seated position, could be Sukhasana with legs crossed. You could extend your legs out or extend your legs wide. Anything that feels good, but just lets you sit up nice and tall. You can even opt to sit in a chair if that feels like a better way to go. But once you've got your way into a nice, comfortable seated position, we're going to take one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, eyes closed or just soften your gaze. Take a nice full breath in. Nice slow breath out. Take the hand that's on the belly, stack it on top of the hand that's on the heart. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. And then just to finish our practice with just a lighthearted approach, like little kids make raspberries, you're going to take your tongue, place it between your lips, take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, make a bunch of noise. Make anybody within earshot laugh with you. Gently lift up through the top of your head. Gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Wednesday.